The modern world is powered by authority, but power is not always measured by votes or policies. There exists another kind of dominance, subtler, more dazzling, and far more intimidating. Power wrapped in gold, encrusted with diamonds, hidden inside massive estates, armored fortresses, and webs of secrecy so intricate they blur the line between fact and myth. At the center of this reality stands Vladimir Putin, not only as Russia's head of state, but also as a living symbol of wealth fused with unshakable control. Many argue whether he is the richest man alive, yet one truth remains undisputed. Putin commands a vast fortune, and more importantly, he has mastered the art of turning that fortune into a political weapon. Let us begin with something that appears trivial, yet carries immense symbolic weight: clothing. For most, clothes are mere fabric, meant for comfort or style. For Putin, however, every suit, every pair of shoes, even a casual jacket, is a calculated statement. His wardrobe, estimated over $110,000, is less a collection of fabric than a soft arsenal crafted to project invincibility. Bespoke suits from Brioni and Khitan, each costing between $7,000 and $10,000, are hand-sewn from rare wool, sculpted to command authority. Colors are never chosen by chance. Navy blue exudes stability, steel gray embodies strength, and charcoal radiates calculated neutrality. Even sportswear is elevated to a stage of dominance. A $3,200 Loro Piana jacket, which in Russia could pay several months of a civil servant's salary, transforms into a symbol of vitality and superiority when worn by Putin. Each appearance in such luxury attire reinforces his image not as an aging man, but as a former KGB operative who refuses to decline with time, only to evolve. If fashion is his invisible shield, then his vehicle is his tangible armor. The Urus Senat, Putin's limousine, is no mere car. Priced at $1.7 million, it is simultaneously a symbol of sovereignty and a fortress on four wheels. Designed and manufactured entirely in Russia, the Senat carries VR-10 level armor, the highest grade for civilian cars, capable of withstanding armor-piercing bullets and devastating explosions. Its nearly 3-inch thick bulletproof glass and reinforced steel composite frame make it an impenetrable moving vault. Step inside, and the scene changes. Hand-stitched leather seats, polished walnut trim, cutting-edge infotainment, all exuding the luxury of a 5-star suite. Its hybrid drivetrain, merging a 4.4-liter V8 with an electric motor, provides explosive torque or silent escapes when discretion is key. Each time the Urus rolls through Moscow or halts before an international summit, it conveys a declaration. Russia no longer needs German Mercedes or American Cadillacs to display prestige. But Putin's dominion extends far beyond the ground. His grip reaches the skies, where each flight becomes a spectacle of invulnerability. The Mi-8 helicopter, with its modest exterior resembling civilian models, is in truth a $30 million airborne shield. Outfitted with bulletproof plating, radar jamming systems, and anti-missile countermeasures, it is built for modern threats. Inside, however, it offers plush leather seating, satellite communications, and the quiet assurance of a flying command room. For longer journeys, Putin relies on what some call Putin Force One, the Ilyushin IL-96 300 Pu, valued at $500 million. More than an aircraft, it is a flying Kremlin. From the outside, it resembles a standard commercial jet, but once inside, the contrast is staggering. Gilded interiors, conference halls equipped with advanced communications, a presidential suite lined with white leather and gold fittings, and even a now infamous gold-plated toilet. Beneath the opulence lies technology rivaling that of a warplane. The jet is fitted with advanced anti-missile systems, radar-absorbing material, and electronic countermeasures, transforming it into a ghost in the skies. At cruising altitude, Putin is not merely a passenger, he remains commander-in-chief, directly connected to Russia's defense apparatus, capable of issuing orders in moments of crisis. Beyond the sky and land lies Putin's floating kingdom, the superyacht Katka, worth $100 million. Spanning over 270 feet, Katka has been likened to a palace adrift at sea. Its interiors shimmer with gold ceilings, Italian marble floors, and crystal chandeliers. A dance floor that hydraulically transforms into a swimming pool adds a theatrical touch, while the spa deck, hammam, cinema, and cigar lounge redefine luxury at sea. Yet its security is just as impressive. Naval-grade radar systems, encrypted communications, and private armed escorts ensure Katka is more fortress than yacht. Its crew, handpicked from military backgrounds and bound by lifelong non-disclosure agreements, operate not a leisure vessel, but a mobile safehouse. Putin can vanish into international waters at a moment's notice, shielded by layers of defense. If Katka embodies marine grandeur, then the palace overlooking the Black Sea is terrestrial magnificence personified. Estimated at $1 billion and sprawling across 190,000 square feet, this estate has become a symbol of both decadence and scandal. Marble staircases imported from Italy, gilded ceilings that evoke imperial palaces, Austrian chandeliers, Persian carpets, and French furniture define its decor. Rumors swirl of secret chambers, a private casino, subterranean vaults, and even a so-called hooker lounge with velvet-lined walls and a pole-dancing stage. But the palace's most striking element lies underground. Hidden bunkers are allegedly designed to withstand chemical, biological, and even military assaults. The master bedroom alone stretches over 3,200 square feet, fortified with bulletproof windows and reinforced doors, offering panoramic views of the sea from a place of absolute security. Outside, the grounds feature vineyards, tea houses, helipads, and even a dedicated village for more than 100 staff members tasked with its operation. What makes this palace truly scandalous is not just its extravagance, but its financing. Officially, Putin's name is absent. Instead, money flows through labyrinthine offshore accounts, shell corporations, and loyal oligarchs. Independent investigations have traced connections between state-backed firms, opaque construction contracts, and offshore havens. The result is a fortress of wealth hidden under a cloak of plausible deniability. To ordinary Russians who face modest pensions, underfunded hospitals, and decaying infrastructure, the palace stands as a bitter metaphor, a reminder of the unbridgeable gap between the leader and the led. If the superyacht Katka represents maritime grandeur, then the palace on the cliffs of the Black Sea stands as the most dazzling, scandalous monument to Putin's hidden empire. Rising above the shimmering waters, it is more than a residence, it is an emblem of separation, a fortress of indulgence that dwarfs any presidential estate on Earth. Official estimates place its worth at around $1 billion, stretching across 190,000 square feet of land. Walking through its grand halls, one encounters Persian rugs sprawling across marble floors, Italian staircases spiraling upward beneath gilded ceilings, Austrian crystal chandeliers illuminating French furniture polished to perfection. Each room whispers extravagance, yet together they scream authority. Behind the velvet curtains, hidden chambers deepen the mystery. A private theater tuned for perfect acoustics, a full-service casino with blackjack tables and VIP vaults, and the infamous relaxation lounge, rumored to include a pole-dancing stage framed by mirrored ceilings and velvet walls. Yet the most unsettling feature lies below. Beneath this opulent facade are underground bunkers, engineered to endure chemical, biological, and even direct military assault. The master bedroom alone, 3,200 square feet, fortified with bulletproof glass and reinforced doors, offers both luxury and impregnable defense. The estate does not end with its walls. It stretches outward into vineyards, tea houses, multiple helipads, and an entire village built for the hundreds of staff who maintain this empire of stone. And how is such a fortress funded? Not by the president's official salary. On paper, the palace belongs to no one. The money moves in silence, funneled through webs of offshore companies, layered through shell corporations, hidden in the accounts of billionaires bound by loyalty. Independent investigations have illuminated trails that snake between oligarch-controlled firms, lucrative state contracts, and shadowy foreign banking networks. In Russia, where hospitals struggle to buy medicine and teachers survive on meager wages, the Black Sea Palace towers as a bitter contradiction carved in marble and gold. Beyond marble halls and chandeliers, Putin's wealth extends into another realm, the secretive empire of art. Intelligence leaks and investigative reports hint at a private collection valued at nearly $2 billion. Works attributed to Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Rembrandt are said to lie hidden within his vaults. Scholars question their authenticity, but in Putin's world, perception outweighs provenance. To merely suggest that a modern leader owns a Da Vinci or Michelangelo is to elevate his aura to that of emperors who once ruled over Europe. This art is not displayed in public museums nor flaunted at glamorous auctions. Instead, it is locked away in climate-controlled vaults, whispered to be located within the Black Sea Palace in Moscow, or scattered across secret residences in Sochi. Maintained by private curators and protected under layers of secrecy, the collection remains invisible to the public eye, yet always ready to awe carefully chosen guests. Here, art is not decoration. It is propaganda. Hanging a Renaissance masterpiece above a private fireplace is not a gesture of taste. It is a declaration of dominion over heritage itself. Acquiring and concealing these works is itself a feat of financial architecture. Offshore holding companies, shadow trusts, and oligarch allies conduct the purchases, shield the ownership, and ensure Putin's name never appears on any document. In return, they remain in his inner circle, rewarded with wealth yet bound to silence. The art empire, real or exaggerated, operates as a psychological weapon. In times of sanctions and diplomatic isolation, rumors of hidden Da Vinci's project cultural superiority, reinforcing the image of a modern-day czar who not only commands armies but also curates history. But if luxury wardrobes, armored limousines, billion-dollar palaces, and secret art collections represent the visible fragments of Putin's fortune, the invisible core lies beneath, in energy. Oil and gas are the true throne on which his empire rests. Reports from financial experts suggest that Putin holds hidden stakes in Russia's energy giants, Gazprom and Rosneft, through loyal intermediaries and offshore networks. Conservative estimates place the value of these holdings at $200 billion. Gazprom, controlling nearly one-fifth of the world's natural gas reserves, is a juggernaut that fuels entire regions of Europe. Rosneft, one of the largest publicly traded oil companies, dominates the global oil market. Unlike Western tech billionaires whose fortunes rise and fall with innovation cycles, Putin's wealth thrives on necessity. As long as the world consumes oil and gas, his grip remains firm. This energy empire is not merely financial, it is geopolitical. When Europe faced energy shortages after cutting reliance on Russian gas, it became starkly evident just how deeply entwined Putin's influence was with global survival. Each barrel of oil, each cubic meter of gas, is more than a commodity. It is a bargaining chip, a weapon of statecraft. By intertwining Russia's economic output with political leverage, Putin transforms corporations into instruments of control. The mechanism is as opaque as it is effective. Profits move silently through offshore accounts, disguised as legitimate investments, shielded by layers of legal intermediaries. Oligarchs act as stewards, reaping immense profits while ensuring loyalty to the center. The system sustains itself through fear and reward. Betrayal means exile, ruin, or worse. Loyalty means untouchable riches. In this world, wealth is not lifestyle, it is leverage. Thus, beyond the suits, cars, yachts, and palaces, Putin's wealth is entrenched in pipelines and refineries, in contracts signed across continents, in the energy arteries of the modern world. It is this hidden throne of oil and gas that makes him not merely wealthy but nearly untouchable. What makes Putin's fortune truly remarkable is not its size, but the way it vanishes into shadows. While Western billionaires proudly display their net worth on Forbes lists, Putin operates in another dimension entirely. For him, invisibility is not weakness. It is strategy. He does not need to be recognized as the richest man on earth because his greatest asset is something no ranking can measure: the ability to conceal and the power to remain beyond reach. The architecture of this concealment resembles a labyrinth. At the surface are shell companies registered in offshore havens: Cyprus, Panama, the Cayman Islands. Beneath these lie offshore accounts swelling with the profits of oil deals, secret loans, and disguised contracts. And at the core stand the loyal oligarchs, the custodians of his fortune. They own the companies, they sign the contracts, they buy the estates. But everyone inside the circle knows they are only masks for the man who commands from behind the curtain. This arrangement creates a perfect loop. The oligarchs gain access to unimaginable wealth, but in return they safeguard Putin's empire. Their loyalty is cemented by reward, but equally by fear. In a system where betrayal means exile, ruin, or even death, loyalty is not optional, it is survival. And so the palace by the Black Sea, The yacht Katka, the art vaults, the vineyards in Tuscany or mansions in Monaco, none of them bear Putin's name. But they remain his all the same, guarded by those whose own fortunes depend on keeping his hidden. Such secrecy is not merely about avoiding investigators, it is also about building myth. By keeping everything murky, Putin fosters an aura of limitless wealth. No one knows exactly how much he possesses, and that uncertainty magnifies his image. In politics, mystery often wields more force than transparency. He appears as a man who owns everything, yet officially possesses nothing. A figure who cannot be touched by sanctions because on paper there is nothing to freeze. In this paradox, invisibility becomes invincibility. Step back and the picture becomes clear. The suits from Brioni, the Aurus Sonat, the Mi-8 helicopter, the IL-96 jet, the yacht Katka, the Black Sea Palace, the rumored Renaissance masterpieces, all are fragments of a larger mosaic. The most crucial piece, the cornerstone of his empire, is energy. Gazprom and Rosneft are not simply corporations. They are geopolitical weapons, instruments of leverage that can freeze nations in winter or destabilize economies in weeks. Through them, Putin wields power over millions beyond Russia's borders. Here lies the chilling reality. The most expensive thing Vladimir Putin owns is not gilded ceilings, bulletproof limousines, or billion-dollar palaces. It is power itself, purchased through energy, enforced by force, adorned with opulence, and shielded by secrecy. Every watch, every golden toilet, every diamond-studded facade is but an accessory to this deeper asset, unchallengeable authority. Over the last 2 decades, this structure has kept him untouched. Sanctions come and go, critics rise and fall. Yet the fortress remains. To his supporters, it is proof of strength. To his enemies, it is a nightmare of endurance. To the ordinary Russian citizen, it is a reminder of distance. While they queue for medical treatment or stretch pensions across months, their leader resides in palaces, travels in missile-proof jets, and strolls across yachts guarded like naval bases. This contradiction forms the heart of modern autocracy. Luxury for one, austerity for many. Transparency for the ruled, opacity for the ruler. The palace by the Black Sea is not just a residence, it is a metaphor. The yacht Katka is not just a vessel, it is a mobile fortress. The IL-96 is not just a jet, it is a command center in the clouds. And the art hidden in vaults is not just culture, it is propaganda, weaponized. Ultimately, when asked what the most expensive thing Putin owns is, the answer is neither palace, plane, yacht, nor artwork. It is the infrastructure of control. Power sustained by oil and gas pipelines, defended by oligarch loyalty, and amplified through symbols of excess. Power that cannot be taxed, seized, or frozen because it was never meant to be seen. In Putin's world, wealth is not about living large. It is about ruling from the shadows. Every gilded wall, every armored limousine, every secret vault is part of a single narrative, that he is untouchable. And perhaps that is the greatest purchase of all. Not gold, not palaces, not yachts, but the illusion of permanence, the ability to survive storms of politics, evade the glare of transparency, and remain enthroned while others fall. Thus, the world looks at Putin and sees 2 figures at once. The first, a man draped in bespoke suits, riding in armored cars, presiding over palaces, sailing in yachts. The second, a shadow, invisible yet omnipresent, whose wealth is measured not in billions but in influence. It is this second image that truly matters. It is this invisible empire, built on fear, loyalty, and secrecy, that defines Vladimir Putin. And so the final truth emerges. The world can count yachts, palaces, jets, and wardrobes, but what it cannot count is the currency of fear, loyalty, and control. These are his most expensive possessions, and they are priceless.